In today's video, I'm going to tell you about the death cross in Toronto's real estate. If you have been following my social media, you know that I was the first real estate agent in Toronto that called the top in January and February. And if you have been following me, you could use that opportunity to sell your property if you wanted to sell a property. Or if you were a buyer back then, I hope that you watched my videos and you didn't FOMO in, because now you're gonna have much more opportunities. Alright, now today I'm gonna talk to you about the spring market in Toronto. And then I'm gonna tell you why in April the sales in Toronto have been down 41%. Yes, that is huge, 41% down. Hey everyone, this is Ari Armani, Toronto real estate agent, and in this video I'm gonna go through the numbers and why Toronto home sales were down 41%. First of all, I publish a monthly newsletter and a blog about Toronto real estate market. So if you want to know the details of the information that I'm sharing with you right now, you can go check it out and use the charts. For that reason, I'm gonna leave the link down below. Alright, let's take a look at the numbers. Alright, as you can see that Toronto sales are 41% down. In order to have a better idea of what that means, we are going to take a look at the charts. I know, of course, that means 41% down number of sales, but always the new data is relative to the past data. So let's take a look at the charts. Alright, you're gonna scroll down to the charts. First chart is average home prices, all property types in Toronto. For that reason, you're gonna click on 1 year. If you look at the numbers, at the end of April 2021, average Toronto home price have been $1,090,000. And then in February, it went to $1.33 million. That was where I told everybody, hey, you're not gonna see that average home price in Toronto for a while again. So I literally called the top in January and February and told everybody, hey, if you want to get out, if you want to sell, now is the time to sell. Or if you're a buyer out there, don't FOMO in because the prices are going to go down. All right, let's see what happened after that. As you can see, in February, average home price in Toronto was $1.33 million. And then you can see in March, it went to $1.299 million. And in April, average home price in Toronto was $1.25 million. And I believe this is important. Please pay attention to it. I believe that the prices are going to continue going down. If you want to know how much the prices are going to go down in the crash, check out my previous video. All right, let's look at the numbers, the sales numbers. Sold volume last year at the same time was 13,600, which in April it went down to 8,000 sold homes in Toronto. On the other hand, this is also very important. The number of active listings in April went up to 13,000 active listings. And in the chart here, you can see this sharp spike from 3,000 active listings to 4,000 active listings and to 13,000 active listings just from January and February. So you see where I'm going, right? So now I'm going to tell you about the death cross in Toronto's real estate. As you can see, there's a sharp increase in the supply and a decline in the demand. When that happens, which I call it a death cross, when that happens, the prices continue going down. And this is the death cross that's happening in Toronto real estate market. Alright, I was trying to keep today's video very short. If you need more details about your neighborhood or about the market, you can book a consultation meeting with me. I will leave the link down below. If you want access to the charts that I'm using, I will also put that link below this video. Alright, let's take a look at the condo market and the detached market so quickly. Oh, by the way, I highly suggest you to look at the video that I put out there, that how low home prices in Toronto are gonna go in a crash. Or if you don't have time to take a look at the video, I put a summary of that video here in this article as well, and I explain how I calculate the EMA, SMA, and how I calculate the bottom in a crash. But again, that video is more detailed and goes through all the steps about the Toronto real estate market crash and how low it can go. So I highly recommend you watch that video. Alright, let's take a look at the condo market so quickly. We're gonna click on 1 year on the charts. As you can see, last year same time, the average condo price in Toronto has been $692,000. Now it's $789,000, almost $790,000. And as you can see, the condos didn't have that much of decline, literally because the condos are entry-level products out there. And always in a downtrend, always the luxury products get hit the hardest. So I expect the hardest decline in bigger properties such as luxury detached homes or detached homes in Toronto. Of course, the condos are gonna have decline in prices too, but relatively less than the detached. Alright, let's take a look at the month of inventory. Month of inventory in condos are 1.72 month of inventory. We are getting closer to the balanced market. Just so you know, around 2 to 3.5 is a balanced market. All right, let's take a look at the detached home. Detached homes, okay, this is very interesting. You click on 1 year. Average detached home in Toronto in February has been $1.8 million. Right now, the average detached home in Toronto is slightly above $1.6 million. So now you see that the gap between the detached prices and condo prices are getting closer. And as you can see, the detached home prices are the ones that are getting the hit the hardest. All right, I'm not gonna go through all the details in this video because I was gonna keep this video short, but you can go through the charts and article with the details. If you need more information about your area or you want to book a consultation meeting with me, I will leave the link down below. And if today's video brought any value to you, please share it with your friends and subscribe to my channels. Have a wonderful day. Stay happy. Bye.